Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So with it being March, I cannot believe it. I thought I'd give you guys an update on how my February planning went, the system, and the tweaks, and kind of a big change, not really a tweak, that I'm thinking of making or trying out going forward. So if you are interested, just keep watching. So I started February in my VDS standard in Poussiere. And I'll link up here the unboxing. The flip is pretty much the same as that one, to be honest, but I'll just flip through it quickly and show you what it looks like and kind of talk about what I was thinking and how I was planning. So, you know, my standard routines that I have here, some dashboards. The first section is always my GTD. I'm sure you guys know about GTD by now. If you don't, I'll link it up here, link it down below, an overview and what the system is. And yeah, this just works for me. I know some of you guys don't like, you know, using the unbox and then moving things behind it, because I feel like you guys probably think it's redundant and stuff. And just keep that in mind as I get to the end and talk about my future changes and how, like, you know, that'll kind of be relevant, sort of. So yeah, so my first GTD section, I won't flip through it too detailed because you guys have seen it before. And then I have my project section. To be honest, I started work and like my corporate job back from mat leave, and it got really busy, so I haven't really been able to focus on projects. Then I have my home stuff. So this section is called home. I haven't added too much, but I'm going to add like an inventory of home items, you know, I don't know, toilet paper and paper towels and all that jazz. And then, a section for me and the hubby. I added this like travel insert just to make me happy, to remind me of the places that we had gone, and that travel is like imminent, hopefully, with COVID kind of ending. And yeah, so that makes me happy. And then just some dashboards. I'll try to link some of them all down below. Those ones are IV milled. This is my COVID vaccine tracker. I figure that it's going to be like a yearly thing like the flu. So I just added an insert for that. This section is for my girls, Victoria and Hannah. And I just track, like, I won't go into details because some of it is private. It's just their medical information, you know, their doctors, contacts, all that stuff. And I just have the 2 sets of inserts printed twice, one for each of my girls. And then it's really into the agenda section, the crux of the planning. So I just have on a sticky note my routines again, and I just like it there just to remind me. So those are the routines. I was thinking about listing these in my shop, and I just like never got around to it, but like making them personalizable, as in like you can go in and update it yourself. What is that called? Editable? Anyways, just never got around to it. I will at some point. So then this is the actual like planning section, and for my weekly planning I really alternate between like a vertical timed weekly as well as like a categorized weekly. And you guys have seen this before, but this one is basically when I have a lot of things going on in the various aspects of my life. So lots to do with the home and the girls and random house errands and stuff, but also a lot of stuff going on with like my corporate job and Etsy and blah 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 blah. So I like to use that. But on weeks where I have like a lot of events or time sensitive tasks, then I like to use more of like a vertical weekly to be able to see the flow of my day, and that's just what works for me. So yeah, I mean, I use various inserts because I obviously have my own Etsy shop, and so I have to test things out, and so I'm always changing. But that's why in my balance bundle, the latest one, the one with the categorized weekly I was just showing you, I like to have both because those are the 2 that I use the most, the timed and the categorized. But of course, the one thing that stays constant no matter what weekly I use or what insert I use is like the GTD concepts. So I flow over my next actions, and I flow over like the waiting on, the stuff that, you know, I don't get done that week. I flow it back to my GTD lists. And then, you know, I obviously do daily planning, and yeah, so here's another type of weekly overview or weekly timed weekly insert. So that's kind of like the crux of the weekly planning. For future, this section is my pre-planning section, and so stuff that happens in the month but, you know, on a later date, I put into here. And then anything that's like really out, like, so if we're in February right now, anything that's like in March, April, May, or June, or whatever, future month, I put it into my future log. And I kind of like was incorporating, you know, bullet journaling a little bit. And this is my bullet journal bundle, but anyway, so it's just the future events for months ahead. Whereas the pre-planned on these dated weeklies from Filofax is stuff that's happening, for example, if I was still in February, within February. Does that make sense? So that's just how I kind of pre-plan, and I continue to do that. The system is really the same month to month. It hasn't really changed. On these monthly logs, I kind of fell off of it after January, but what I was wanting to do was like put in the key events that happened during that month. So I should have done it for February, and then I just like fell off the wagon, but I'm going to try to do it again starting in March, is kind of having somewhere to log like the key events. So instead of like, you know, sometimes plans don't work out or whatever, and like things that are important that happen throughout the month, they kind of get lost in all of your weekly planning, right? So this monthly log just wanted to call out those items. Yeah, so like that's pretty much like the system that was in here. And so throughout February, I don't know if it's because it's just like the middle of winter and it's dreary and it's cold and there's nothing else to do, but I was like kind of really getting a little bit antsy again. And I was really trying to fight it for a long time. Sorry, this is just a miscellaneous section with random things. This is my house lists, just random lists, long-term lists back here. This is a perpetual fold-out calendar. But yeah, I was just like really trying to fight it because I was like, man, it's only February, like barely 2 months into the year, and I'm already wanting to like make a major switch. And I was really, really trying to fight it, guys. I really was. But, you know, this is a hobby and we do it because it's fun, but also productive. So what did I do? I decided to get a new Moterm because it's been a while since I ordered a Moterm. So I was like, you know what? It's about time. And so I got this pocket, and I wanted to get this pocket because before I was using a Filofax Finsbury in the pocket size. So this one, and I loved her so much. I loved how stiff it was. And even though it was like small rings, it actually worked out for me. I only kept the essentials and it was great. And then I was kind of like, oh, well, you know what? I love the pocket. I always love the pocket, especially for the dailies. And I just wanted something a little bit bigger, like a little bit bigger rings than the Filofax. And at the same time, I don't carry a purse anymore or a wallet anymore, as I'm sure most of you guys don't. I just keep like my key cards on the back of my phone, just like a credit card, driver's license, whatever, right? And so I wanted a spot to keep the rest of my cards that was also small. And I was like, pocket is perfect for that. I can put my dailies in here, and then I can put my cards in here. And so I got this pocket Moterm, and it's in the regular size. And previously I had only purchased Luxe, so it's the 30mm rings, and I just found them like, it's a bit big, it's a bit bulky. So I wanted to try out pocket, and I gotta say, if you guys haven't seen my video on all things Moterm, I'll link it over there if you guys don't know Moterm, but they've really upped their game recently. And like I said, I haven't bought one in a while, but like their leather is noticeably better than the older versions. Yeah, so I don't know, they really have upped their game. They've upped the prices a little bit, but you know, it's understandable. I mean, the leather is still not the same as like VDS, right? Or like the Gilios or whatever. It's just not the same. The price point's not the same. You're not going to get there. I don't want this to be about a Moterm video, but anyways, I thought this would bring me some joy. And I gotta say, it just like, I don't know, it wasn't bringing me as much joy as I thought it would. And I don't know why. And I still love the daily sizes, the daily size in here. I really do. I also try to experiment with weekly in here, and it does kind of work. But in this one, like, I don't fit the timed weeklies in here because in pocket size it's just too small. I just kind of use like the one day, and I just put the main items there. And it was good. And, you know, as I was working on this and kind of going through this process, I kind of figured out why I didn't like it. And I'm going to come back to this in a minute, because first, before I go to the new system that I'm going to try out, I wanted to talk about my journaling sections, okay? So with the journaling type stuff, I've been using the same two planners that I've been using when I started 2022. You guys can see my 2022 lineup if you want. I'll link it there. But I'll start with this one. This is a 5-year Mom's One Line a Day. It's just an Amazon planner, undated, 5 years. And here I just write one little memory about my girls, specific to my girls here. If anything else happens, during that day, no matter how significant it is, I don't really write it in here. This is solely just about my girls because I want to give it to them when they're older or whatever, and they can look through it, and it's everything just about them. So that's that. It's really simple. There's only enough space for just, a couple lines. And that's great for those of you who are kind of like me, and journaling is kind of overwhelming. You can't be consistent, and the thought of filling up a whole A6 page, for example, or a whole Hobonichi notes page is just way too overwhelming. This is perfect, and I'll link everything down below. But anyways, it's really inexpensive, and I love it for those who have kids. They also have versions of this that aren't called Mom's One Line a Day, so you could just do whatever you want, like a general 5-year journal. So that's been working out great. Then the other thing that I've been still using is my Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and I'm kind of inconsistent in this, but I just keep going whenever I want. But what I do in here is one, I put all kinds of memories. So it doesn't have to be just for the girls. It can be related to me, the family, anything, right? And this is kind of for days when I feel like I want to write a few more blurbs instead of just the one sentence. So it can be related to the girls too. It can be related to myself, husband, whatever. I put it in here. And I'm relaxed on myself with this. I don't worry about it if I don't do it for a few weeks. I just don't worry about it. In the back here, so you'll see this is a random picture from my Perry Page printer. So it's a thermal ink printer. I've talked about it before. I'll link it down below. I like using that just for informal pictures. It basically prints onto sticker paper. So you don't worry about wasting a photo paper or whatever, but you still want to have the memory. It's great for that. So I'll link that down below. I think I have a code. I think it's 10% code or something off of that. And then the other ones that I do is sometimes if I don't write anything, I'll just go in and I'll add some pictures using my sprocket, my HP sprocket, and it prints on more, I guess, proper printer paper or photo paper, I guess you call it. And it's also a sticker, but it's just that glossy material, whereas this is more just paper. So I'll just go in and just add a picture here and there if I didn't write anything. Here I didn't write anything, and I just went in, decorated it with stickers because I don't do stickers anywhere else. So I just go free rein here, and it's kind of my outlet just to, almost like meditation, lay down random stickers even though I can't make it look good. I just put it down, print out some pictures, and call it a day. I don't worry about it. It's my messy memory planner. I think that's what I like to call it. And then the back here, I like that there are notes pages so that if I do want to, say I want to journal and just talk about random stuff or have an outlet, I just basically scribble in my ugly handwriting and call it a day. So those are the two journaling planners. And so now let's talk about where I'm going from here, or where I kind of already went, I should really say. So like I said, I had moved into the Pocket, sort of, just doing, some weekly planning in here. All my reference and all my other stuff was still in here. And as I was using this insert, I was kind of you know what, this insert does work out for me. And I had this realization that previously in here, I was trying to use the timed weeklies, and now that I'm back at work, at my corporate job, it doesn't work for me to have those timed weeklies anymore. And that's because at work, we use Outlook, everything's online. I cannot possibly write down all my meetings by hand because they change day to day and they get switched around. And I just need something really easy that I can either copy those appointments over or move it around, right? I just don't have the need for the hourly. So this might blow your mind, guys. But okay, So let me explain. I needed a new iPad for doing my editing for YouTube. So I ended up getting an iPad Pro because I needed a new iPad because that's where I do all of my video editing and stuff with Etsy and whatever. I use an iPad a lot, and I previously used my iPad mini, but the storage was just too little, so I decided to get a new iPad. And when you get a new piece of technology, obviously you want to do like more stuff on it, right? And so previously, you know, like I've seen digital planning, and I'm definitely one of those people who are like, no, I am totally a paper and pen girl. I've tried digital planning actually once a few years ago, and I was like, no, like this does not work. And I gotta say, before you go and hate on it, like I did, last time I was using the app called Notability. I don't know how much you guys know. I can do another video on it if you guys are interested, but whatever. Anyways, so I used a different app, and let me tell you, getting the right app and the right like digital planner inside the app, I feel like is like the same as getting the right planner size. For example, let me explain. If you write really small and you get an A5 size planner, like it's not going to work for you. If you write really big and you try to fit in a pocket, it won't work for you, right? And then with like inserts and stuff like that, like if you need an hourly and you try to fit your plans in like, you know, categorized or horizontal, that's not going to work for you, and it just doesn't work, right? So I feel like now that I've tried it a little bit, I've realized that it's not necessarily just the fact that like I need that paper and pen experience. I mean, I still like it, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is what I'm going to do forever, but I do notice that like, you know, having an iPad and the right app and the right whatever, like you still have something that you're holding on to. It's not like you have nothing, you know, you still have a material item you hold on to. And using the right app, I switched over to GoodNotes, and oh my gosh, what a world of difference it makes. I mean, of course, the other thing I had to do making planners, I had to make my own digital planner, of course. And I gotta say, it's been working really well. I don't want this to be like too long a video, so I'd just give like a really brief flip, but like, so you guys know, like I talked about, I use GTD. So in this digital planner I created, I have like my GTD section, right? And so for example, I go to my inbox, and here's my inbox, and like it links to, you know, all my other sections. So my next actions, whatever. And the best thing, if you guys remember what I said at the beginning of this video, is when you write your tasks out on the inbox and you don't want to then like go and copy it over to your next actions list because you got to write everything out and it's super annoying. On digital, you can just copy and freaking paste. So if I wanted something to go on next actions, I click next actions. I mean, like, yeah, not all digital planners are like this, but you know what I mean. So like, you can get a lot of digital planners that are all linked, right? Not just this one, but like most digital planners have links, and you just click to wherever you want to go and then paste it. Is that not mind-blowing? Like, if I knew how to do sounds, I would add the sound and put the mind-blowing sound. But yeah, so like that's one thing that was like just right off the bat amazing. And I'll just like quickly show you some of my planner pages. So for example, like if I do, this was my overview of my monthly, and you know what I really liked about this is that I can still write things out. And you know how people say like when you write things out, like you better remember it, you remember it better, and like just all around good for you, right? And you can still do that here, but at the same time, on times where I'm busy or like don't have like time to write it out, I just type it out, and that works too. So like how amazing is that, sort of, right? I'm sure I haven't convinced you or anything, but I'm just telling you what I've been liking so far. Just flip through a couple pages. So here, the thing that I was telling you about it not working with my work is that now when I'm on a digital, I can just copy and paste my calendar, like screenshot my calendar and paste it to that day. And by doing that, like I don't have to worry if my, you know, plans or my meetings move throughout the day, because I could just copy and paste, delete the screenshot, whatever. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been adding notes pages and stuff, and I gotta say, it's nice. It's nice. So here's just like, for example, I just started doing March. Yeah, and like you can add stickers, and like, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on how easy it is to do stickers and stuff. I need to show you. Anyways, so here's another weekly. So I won't go through everything because I feel like this is already getting really long. I'm just gonna end it here. I can do another video if you guys want the basics, but I gotta say, like, everybody has an iPad these days, right? Like, you don't need an iPad Pro or whatever. You could just use your iPad mini, your regular iPad. Like, you don't need anything new. I'm telling you guys, give it a shot. And I can show you in another video how you can use some of your existing inserts that you bought. Like, if you get printable inserts, of course, you could just import that PDF into your GoodNotes app and start using it straight away. Like, you don't need like a digital planner like this or anything, right? Is that not exciting? Oh man, I don't know, I'm crazy. So that's all I gotta say about it. So I'll do maybe a flip of this planner at some point if there's interest. Otherwise, I encourage you guys can use your existing inserts from any printable shop that you've like ever got printables from. Import into GoodNotes or some sort of app. I recommend GoodNotes based on my experience. And try it out. All right, so that's what I'm thinking for February, or sorry, I guess that's what happened in February. That's what I'm thinking of continuing into March. We'll see how long it lasts. So it's not to say that I'm not going to go back to paper planning. I mean, like, I'll probably last a month before I'm back. But anyways, that's where I'm going right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you guys want to see. I'm literally like, feel like I'm running out of ideas. But yeah, let me know down below, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell if you like my videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.